A delegation headed by several Horn of Africa leaders has reached a roadblock in its mediation effort to stop the fighting in Sudan. The Sudanese Foreign Ministry rejected the proposal made by 8 African nations, saying that the language is incorrect. The government in Khartoum says describing the conflict as a fight between 2 generals is a false narrative. It sees the conflict as a battle between a national army on the one hand and a group rebelling against it on the other. Well, Al Jazeera's Bernard Smith is in the studio with us. You just came back from Djibouti, where you were covering those talks. They seem to have achieved very little.
Cyril, yeah, there was a huge meeting last Monday, IGAD it's called, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, of these 8 Horn of Africa nations trying to mediate in Sudan. And they came up with this ambitious plan after an all-day, an exceptionally long session last Monday. They came up with this ambitious plan and they said, in 10 days' time, we'll have got both sides in Sudan around the table to talk between our foreign ministers, and our ambition is to get them to agree to a ceasefire.
That sounds good.
It sounds good, very ambitious, but it's fallen, it seems, at one of the first hurdles, because Sudan is not at all happy. Sudan has accused IGAD of saying its efforts are a clear challenge to Sudan. It says it's a violation of its sovereignty, which is totally unacceptable. And they seem to reserve particular criticism for William Ruto, Kenya's Prime Minister, and they've accused him of making this biased assessment of the conflict. And I think this is because, as you just said, Sudan is offended that the generals, both sides, are being equated, whereas Sudan says this is a rebel group fighting a national army.
This shouldn't be put on equal footing then.
Yeah.
Why is this so important for Horn of Africa nations? They're taking this very seriously. They're putting a lot of effort into this.
They are, and they were telling me, we spoke to diplomats there last week and ministers, and they said, look, we think we've got leverage. There are 300 million people in the Horn of Africa. We think we can bring a regional solution to this problem, and we have to, because if it spills out into a wider conflict, then you're going to get a refugee crisis, a humanitarian crisis all around the region.
Beginning.
And indeed, and in an already troubled part of the world, this we can well do without. They also ambitiously wanted to set up a humanitarian corridor within a couple of weeks, and even have the sort of national dialogue for the Sudanese. All very ambitious and all seemingly already running into trouble, unfortunately.
Al Jazeera's Bernard Smith, thank you very much.